Alright guys, welcome back. So Palantir. So I'm sure I'm the only one who hasn't talked about Palantir, but I'm gonna make it a little bit different. So we're looking at completely different thing than probably most of the crowd. I'm sure everybody is screaming that it's overvalued, it is insane. How come this company could be worth $250 billion? I tweeted about this one too. So what kind of companies are valued at the same valuation as Palantir? But I want to show you a little bit different thing. Okay, so yes, we know the stock broke out of this 84, 85, pretty big gap, 20% or so move off earnings, and it's right now closed at 110, 111 on Friday. So what I'm watching here, so if you zoom out a little bit more, so this is a daily chart, okay, and I'm gonna show you this chart, NVDA. So let's zoom out a little bit more and take a look at this chart right here. So this is a Palantir, not Palantir, this is actually NVIDIA in 2024, in the beginning of 2024, maybe zoom in a little bit more. Similar price pattern, okay? I am someone who trades patterns, and I'm someone who trades breakouts, breakdowns, weakness, reversals. If stock is getting overextended, I'll try to pretty much trade it. But here's what was happening back in 2024 with NVIDIA stock. Stock has rallied in the beginning of the year or so about 100% already, okay? And it was in this range. Everybody was like, NVIDIA 1000, NVIDIA 1000, NVIDIA 1000. And stock pretty much from those highs declined about 30%, I believe, or 25%. Let's just measure that move, 20% or so. And then come earnings, identical move. Everybody was expecting that the stock would, like everybody was literally, go on YouTube, not YouTube, go on Google, pull up this data in the beginning of, at the end of May, in the beginning of June, what in 2024, what everybody was talking about NVIDIA. Just pull that news custom date range and see what were people talking about. And you will realize it was identical situation like Palantir. And again, I'm purely speculating. I like to recognize certain patterns and pretty much bet against the consensus. If consensus is super bullish, I like to be bearish. If consensus super bearish, I like to be bullish. So, but in terms of the price action, it did identical thing. Look at the NVIDIA. Gets back above 1K, $1,000, and goes all the way to $1,400 before reversing like the way it reversed. But I think, now let's go back to PLTR. PLTR is doing identical price action. Even the flows, even the price action that I'm seeing, people are betting on 130, 125. Same situation with NVIDIA. A lot of calls were coming in despite the stock being at those levels. Here's the Palantir price action. After earnings, after previous earnings, stock goes on, pushes 100%. Let me get my highlighter. This move right here, 100% move. And we have this decline, meaning the correction. This is when I was talking about this one last time. 25% pullback, and somehow grinds its way back up to this resistance area of 84 before it reports earnings. And I was speculating on my YouTube too. I was like saying maybe it's gonna hit 100, maybe break out to those levels. But then I made a video saying I have to be cautious if the stock stays below 50-day moving average which was somewhere around 65, 64-ish areas. And it didn't break that level. It stayed above this 50-day moving average and just kept melting. And now we have this gap. So what I'm speculating on. So my speculation is I don't have the money. I'm not betting on it. Okay. Meaning I don't have Palantir shares. I don't have Palantir contracts. But my speculation is up until this option expiration, which is February 21st, this stock can just do this and melt towards 120, 125, maybe even 130 before flushing down to these levels of $100, maybe even 108, 110. But again, this is one scenario, okay, that I'm watching. This is just the main scenario that I'm watching for the stock, because I think if a lot of people think that this is a short here and they're trying to short, they will be taken for a ride. One way of checking, I usually go take a look at the volume, daily volume. We know Palantir is decently shorted in terms of being as a large cap stock on a daily volumes. It may not have a large outstanding shorts, but if you come take a look at the daily volume, again, this daily volume is not accurate. Pay attention to every single days of reported short volume, basically ratio, long short ratio. 64% last Friday, last price action. Before that, 69% of the volume that traded that particular trade day was shorting volume, and the previous day 62%, which means if stock just stays there, doesn't flush down much, so far anybody who's shorting below, basically who was short below $11, 111, they're all underwater. So many funds losing money. Okay, I think they will be taken for a ride. And again, my speculation is towards 130, and then I'm pretty sure it's going to flush down just like Nvidia has done. I have no doubt about that one. It will come at some point. It will do, if it's following this price action, if it's pretty much same setup, I'm pretty sure it's going to go through this phase where, yeah, it's going to melt up a little bit. So I think we're somewhere around here, 112-ish. I think it can go another $15 before flushing and then coming back down to test that $100 level again. But again, this is my speculation. This is what I'm watching for Palantir. I'm not going to mention maybe I'll mention the put to call ratio because I don't want to make this video too long for you guys. But look at the put to call ratio on Friday. 3.2 million call volume, 1.8 million put, 5 million total. Well, sure. Sorry. This is insane. This is not true, actually. I was looking at Nvidia. I should have switched to Palantir. I was like, holy crap, it's trading 5 million option volume. That's insane. But 1.17 million calls traded on Friday, 900,000 puts traded. If you take a look at the put to call ratio, yeah, it's not looking like, it is looking like puts probably being sold just by looking at the deltas that are volume that is on a deltas between 0 to 40. Significant portion of the put volume is there, meaning people could be selling those puts. And if you look at the call volume, it's pretty much spread out all across the deltas from 0 all the way to 100. And if you take a look at probably there are a lot of people doing spreads. Doesn't look like a directional crazy bet, but I have seen some crazy bets such as 135, 120, 125. Even look at one that could be a sell, 165 for March. But there are people who are betting 150, 120, 135, 135, 120, 125. So call buyers are pretty much thinking that this stock could go higher. And I believe that if many people think that this stock is topping out right here, but this chart, this candle may be looking like a bearish reversal as well, presents itself at the top, so it can definitely come down. I could be definitely wrong, but what I'm saying is that this gap is going to eventually get filled. Okay, so this stock will come back down to these $84 levels at some point. So, but to the upside, maybe another $10, maybe another $15. It has room up until to these expiration dates, and stocks like to do that. Actually, it will do the max damage up until option expiration, and then after that option expiration or the day of that option expiration, it just tends to flush down, or people take their profits, and market makers pretty much have no need to hedge their delta exposure, and pretty much the stock can pull back. That's what I'm watching for Palantir. This is not a financial advice. These are purely for entertainment and educational purposes only. Thanks for watching. I will see you all in the next update. Take care. Peace.